This is what the black woman learned from slavery. This is what taught her. It says the American brand of slavery strove toward a rigid disorganization in family life to permanently destroy all potential social structures within black people might forge a collective conscious existence. Imagine if we came over here in slavery, but we was able to retain our knowledge, our information, our culture. At some point, we would stop being slaves. Like the biggest battle we have is that they take the chains off, but we still accept everything that they spoon feed us. And when we talk about the feminist movement, when we talk about Trump, we still accept everything that they spoon feed us, and we think stuff like civil rights fixed us, when civil rights destroyed us. I'm gonna keep going. Children, when they became of age, were branded and frequently severed from their mothers. The mother was the only legitimate parent of her child because they would take the father out the way. And it says, did not therefore mean that she was even permitted to guide it to maturity. Meaning black women was taking care of kids, we all know that. But half the kids wasn't even theirs that they was taking care of. It'd be somebody else's kids. It'd be the white man's kids. It'd be the white woman's kids. But it would not be her kids. That's why calling a black woman a matriarch, in some cases, is kind of disrespectful. Only because she's had to do it under the worst conditions known to man. She's had to take care of that child, get a backbeat, get raped, suffer problems. She had to suffer all kinds of things if it ever went wrong. All right? Deuteronomy 28 and 32. It says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. This was given to the children of Israel as a curse. So now, everybody wonder why we can't get out this condition? It's because we're not going to the one that told us about this curse. Instead of, like, but here's what I mean. The Most High gave us blessings, and he gave us curses. And he gave us criteria to achieve both. Now, we're running to the white man, to the Arab religion, to African religion to escape from what the Lord did to us. The only way that we can get out of this condition is to find out what we did wrong to the Most High. We ain't did nothing wrong to the white man. What we did wrong to him? Nothing. We ain't do nothing wrong to no Arab. We ain't do nothing wrong to no African. We offended God the moment we decided to become Christians, Muslims, Methodists, Baptists, whatever you want to call it, atheists, Kemet. The minute we decided that that was better than this is why this happened to us. That's the education. Keep going. It says, were black women ever taken seriously? We're going to get into the feminist movement. Because again, this feminist movement, I keep hearing, I had a sister tell me that there were two feminist movements. There was a black feminist movement, black woman feminist movement, and then a white woman feminist movement. And all the research that I find and looking up all these different black women before the white women came involved, they were never feminists. Feminist would mean that you're separating yourself from the man. When I look up Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth and other people like that, they was working with brothers. They wasn't trying to disrupt the black household. They was trying to get power or resurrect the black household. So it doesn't apply. So it says the Combahee River Collective argued in 1974 that the liberation of black women entails freedom for all people. Y'all ever notice that with black people? Anytime we got to get liberated or free or anything like that, it has to include everybody. We're the only people that everybody got to be a part of. When a white man, when a Jewish man wanted to get free, they didn't bring not one German with them. Did any Germans come over to? Well, they all German. Technically, they all Germans. But for this purpose, the Jewish man, when he came into Israel, when they divided that land in half, they didn't bring the Germans with them. The Jewish man won't even buy a German car because he hates the Germans for what they did to him. But when it comes to black women, it had to be freedom for all people, since it would require the end of racism, sexism, and class oppression. So for a black woman to be liberated, which I don't even know what that means, other than being liberated from a white man. I don't even know what being liberated means, which I'll explain why I say it in a second. But in order for her to get respected, it would have to be freedom for all. That doesn't even make her special. When the black man, when we go through it, when you think about a black man defending his household, he's defending his household because that household is special. You're going to go to an organization to get free, but they're telling you the only way we can do it for you is if we do it for everybody. You're not special no more. Right. It says during the first wave, different accounts of the involvement of African American women in the women's suffrage movement again. In 74, Alice Paul, a devil, notes that the compromise was made. Now, the black woman going to the white man to get liberated, and here was the compromise. It said a compromise was made between Southern groups to have white women march first, because they're the most important, then the men, the white men, and then the black women. So even when they going to get so-called free, they had to go third. When a black man would put his woman first, why do you think we go to war? We ain't going to war just for ourselves. We going to war for our family. But when you get educated by a devil, this is what you'll be taught. Give me the next slide. Who do you think funded the feminist movement? You got to go back as far as the Rockefellers funded the women's liberation and provided all the media coverage. So all this sexual exploitation, all of these movies that you see, like The Colored Purple, For Colored Girls, Wait to XL, New Jack City, all of these movies, controlled by them. Controlled by them. And for the sole purpose, when you think about these movies, and I know I'm probably going to jump the gun kind of down, but when you think about some of these movies, I'll just use one. For Colored Girls, what were the black men in For Colored Girls? You had a rapist, you had a homosexual who got AIDS, you had a woman beater, and a child molester. Those are the 4 men that they put on the forefront. Now, do those men exist in the black community? Yes, they do. I'm not saying that they don't. But do you see movies where a black man is actually taking care of the family, building up the family, fight? Do you see movies where the black household is together? The closest we got, the most realist TV show black people ever had was what? Who knows?
Black.
No, that's new. Rock is good too, but give me Good Times. Good Times. Good Times was the realest black show ever. Just imagine, Good Times came out in the 70s. Everybody in the projects in the 70s. And who did you have? You had James. And James would do whatever it took for Florida Evans, for JJ, all of them. He never let no intruders come in. He protected his women, his children, and his kids, and they killed him. Why did they kill him? Because what would black people see? Black men would see that's having that same struggle in the projects. They would be able to watch Good Times and get a little bit of inspiration to say, okay, if James did it, maybe I could do it like that. They kill him, and then after that, you just got a black woman in the house. And then when they did blame black men, they was goofy as hell because they showed no leadership anymore. And then the only other one you got was maybe the Cosby Show, but that's not realistic for black people. There's not a lot of black doctors and lawyers that's married together at all. So now it became an unrealistic approach. Imagine if we would have stayed that way. You would thank the Rockefellers for that. Hugh Hefner supported. Hugh Hefner, this bugged me out when I found out Hugh Hefner supported it. But then it made sense, though. It made sense. It said Hugh Hefner supported your reproductive rights, meaning the right to kill your baby, and the feminist wave of lesbianism. Now, why wouldn't Hugh Hefner support that? He's a porn director. So he needs his women killing their babies so they can keep being porno stars, and he needs them to be lesbians so he can have threesomes, and so forth. The CIA funded the Miss magazine, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, inventing the second wave, the eugenics movement. Anybody don't know, I'm pretty sure everybody should know the eugenics movement. Margaret Sanger was a detriment to black people. Your Planned Parenthood and all that comes from people like Margaret Sanger and the black people that supported Margaret Sanger. Because Margaret Sanger said a great statement. She said that we can't be the face of Planned Parenthood. The preacher and the nurse has to be the face of Planned Parenthood. Because if it gets out that we're trying to exterminate them from our voice, they're not going to pay attention to it. But if this pastor says it, then we'll do it. That's why in New York City, they put that billboard sign up there. They said the most dangerous place for a black woman, for a black child, is in the mother's stomach. And then they put the abortion statistics under that. Now, that's education, real talk. Because black women would have to face the role that they played in our murder. You know who made them take it down? Who knows? Badger?
Al Sharpton.
Al Sharpton, a pastor. Al Sharpton came and said, although I'm a pastor and I know it's against the Bible, I cannot affect a woman's right to choose. When I think a woman's right to choose is who she decides to lay down with. If you lay down with that man, number one, that should be the last man you lay with. And if you get pregnant, you have to have the baby. Did you shrink that down? So, the eugenics movement in America, since then we have had more black babies aborted than all other deaths combined. Feel that for a second. Okay. All black deaths combined. So if you take AIDS, murder, cancer, drugs, heart attacks, black on black crime, drug overdoses, and combine them, abortion is still over all of that combined. Now, why would we stop talking about this? Why would they stop talking about it? Because this is their plan. When you do the research, just do the research. Before 1973, look at the abortion numbers, and you won't find hardly any that measures any to what the abortion numbers are today. And they've made abortion so popular amongst black women that they boast about. I see memes, I didn't want to put all this on here, but I see memes where women say they taking pictures at the abortion clinic. They boasted in that. Give me the next slide. Oh, this is my girl here. So I was out Ali. I don't know if anybody knows her, but I love this one here. All right? Just play this clip for me, please.
White women's liberation movement, we don't have anything to do with that.
The first thing she said was the white woman's liberation movement, we don't have nothing to do with that. Let me expound it. We ain't got nothing to do with none of white folks' business. That's right. Their voting system, their liberation, their military, none of that. Until we can get our own. Until we can get our own. We can never go to the table with the white man because we don't have no power. Keep playing.
We've not been under the control of the black man for...
Can you bring it back to the beginning?
For 500 years, so what?
Slide and come back. If you can't, that's fine. Okay, play it.
White women's liberation movement, we don't have anything to do with that. We have not been under the control of the black man for over 500 years, so what do we have to get liberated from him from?
Oh, you smart. She said, we have not been under the control of the black man for 500 years. So what actually are black women trying to get liberated from? I made sure to put her in this because if I said it, y'all might get mad. But if a black woman said, maybe y'all listen to the black woman. Huh? Not enough, though. Not enough. Just let me finish. Wow, I appreciate it. So now, when she's saying that we have not been under the control of the black man, that's a real statement. When you think about the liberation movement, it was one of the most heinous acts that the white woman has ever done to the black woman. Now, I'm going to tell you something. White women hate black people more than the white men. And y'all don't even realize it. Anybody see that movie Get Out? If you didn't, I'm about to spoil it real fast. Anybody see that movie Get Out? Okay. Y'all know the sunken zone, right? Do y'all know when the sunken zone actually took place? Who knows?
He got with that devil.
When he got with the white woman. In the beginning of the movie, when you seen that brother, that's why Marcus Garvey's wife, when she, because like I said, as I was doing the research on it, Marcus Garvey's wife, who supported Marcus Garvey put her in a good position. She said that the issue she got with the brothers is their love for white women. And black men, y'all got to stop dealing with them goddamn white women.
That's right.
So now, but in that movie, they called the sunken zone when she made the tea and did the whole circling with the cup. That wasn't the sunken zone. When she met with the white woman. And the best part of that movie, to me, was when that white woman couldn't find the keys. That was the best part of the movie. Because just think about, prior to that, every time he was feeling some type of way, she was comforting him. She was consoling him, giving him all the notion that little Becky loved him to death. Until he realized they trying to kill me up in here. I didn't believe it. Then she couldn't find the keys. I can't find the keys. I can't find. And then when he fights the brother, he about to leave, she says, "No, I can't give you the keys." Revealing herself to that brother. And black men need to pay attention to that. All these white women are set up to destroy you.
That's right.
White woman, I don't care how cute and loving. And then after they got them in the dungeon, what's she doing? She online looking for the next Negro she gonna find to bring to the house.
Right.
That's the lesson to learn from Get Out. That sunken zone wasn't the T. The sunken zone was when he was dealing with that devil. Right. Play the rest of the clip.
They haven't been eyeballs. That's That's the white woman and her man. They're going through that, and that's their business. We don't have any business being in there. They only introduced it to break down the civil rights movement.
Right.
The civil rights movement started with the black man, black woman, and the black child standing together, trying to plead for freedom, justice, and equality, and more benefits in the country that they had built. They threw the white woman in there with the women's liberation movement and made it a woman against man thing. That created a big separation between black men and black women, because then everybody started going for self.
You see what she said? That created a great divide because everybody started going for self. And since the white woman got her paws on that black woman, all the black men and black women have been doing is fighting each other. That's it. Even if they got kids together. They got kids together, she'll kick him out the house, call 911, he may beat her or do something like that. We've been fighting each other since the white woman has involved herself. And she hates black women. I'm going to tell you why. Why the white woman wanted to get liberated? When slavery was over, who was doing all the cooking and cleaning and had to take care of the kids anymore after that? Who did? White woman realized, I love slavery. I love it. Because Mammy was in my house all day. You mean I got to wash all these clothes now? I got to cook this? I never had. Now, just remember, she said 500 years. That's slavery. 400 or 500 years. So 400 or 500 years, the white woman sitting on her ass. Look what she doing all day. She ain't doing the cooking and cleaning or nothing. Even the white man would be doing some form of work, whether it was overseer or trying to conquer or something like that. The white woman was doing nothing. She was living in her pleasure. And now slavery is over and the black woman is gone and nobody can clean up. So how can she bring the black woman back? I convince her to hate a man. And that's what she did to black women. That is the miseducation that has happened to black women with that liberation. Keep playing.
Then they bring the welfare system in and tell us in order to feed and clothe and house our children, we have to give up our man. We have to put the man out of the house. When the white farm wife goes to the government for subsidy for the farm, they don't tell her to get rid of the farm, and they keep that family together. But in the black community, they make it a requirement because they want to keep endorsing into the black community that the black man is no good and that he is not deserving of respect, he is not deserving of us letting him give us any protection or instruction, and that we are better than them.
You tell me that is not 2017?
Right.
In 2017, this is not what they push on us. We have to open up our concept of thinking. Like Shahrazad Ali is not the only sister that has said this, like the sister pointed out. But it ain't enough. It ain't big enough. It ain't pushed enough to where black women can start forgiving their man, or black men to start forgiving their woman, which is what's needed in order for this community to heal themselves from the atrocities that have happened to them. Next slide. Oh, I put this picture up. Who they now part of the feminist movement. One of the great ones was who the black fist girl? What's his broad's name? Yeah, I knew everybody knew her name. Black fist, black power, and the black dyke. You understand? Black dyke. With a white one. That's Gloria Steinem and that's Angela Davis. So even though Angela Davis put a fist up, she's licking a box. How does that fix the black household? That's right. I mean,
White is white.
yeah, I'm not surprised. That's what I said. White with a white woman. Right. That's what I said. Yeah, she had a white wife. She had a white, yeah. But she black power. She black power. When we talk about this devil here, look, don't she look like Satan? When we talk when we talk about this devil here, any black Gloria Steinem, any black woman that has worked with her is a sellout to black people. That's right. I don't care who it is. Because she was set up by the CIA to specifically destroy the black infrastructure. Not just the black woman, the whole entire black infrastructure. So now, this guy here, she was into lesbianism and black power. Well, let's find out if lesbianism will actually help the women's rights or will it destroy it? Next slide. In essence, lesbian feminists try to untie lesbianism from sex because lesbians try to be men, which I don't understand. That's a mental defect. That's not natural for a man to want a man or a woman to want a woman. That's not natural. It says they still had to find effective ways to address the accusation that their masculinity, women trying to be men, was somehow complicit with the men in patriarchy. Lesbian feminists responded by distancing themselves from stereotypes of masculine roles, maleness, and patriarchy. One way they were able to do that was to disentangle lesbian sexuality from heterosexuality and reconceptualizing heterosex as consorting with the enemy. So what were they trying to now tell you? If you even dealt with a man, you was a traitor to all womankind. That's what they were trying, and they were trying to make, damn near when we get to the bottom of it, like if you're not a lesbian, you're not a feminist, and you're not a liberal. But they're about all women. This is what they're saying they're about, but they're not about it. It says they capitalize on dominant assumptions regarding female sexuality, including ideas of women's romantic and nurturing sexuality versus men's aggressive sexuality. That don't even make no sense to me. Because a man is supposed to be aggressive with his woman. Most women are aggressive with their man. That's how it's supposed to go. It ain't supposed to be soft. I'm trying not to be too vocal. Then they were able to draw a distinction between lesbian sex and heterosexual sex, claiming that lesbian sex was pure as snow because it did not involve men. But lesbians have children, though. And when they want to have a baby, where do they got to go to get the baby? No, not, well, that's okay, that's foster care they want to adopt. But if they actually want to have a baby, they have to see a man. They were then able to draw a distinction. I'm sorry. The males seek to conquer through sex, while the female seeks to communicate. Here's the heavy part. Lesbians carry dildos.
Right.
They carry dildos. They walk around. I think the young mob bro just got pulled over at the airport in Jamaica because they thought that dildo was a gun. I mean, how big was the gun? I'm sorry. How big was it? Now, why she carry the dildo? Let me tell you why lesbians carry that dildo. Because a woman naturally wants a man inside of her.
That's right.
Want another woman inside of her. And that lesbian knows if she don't put something inside of her, she will find something to put inside of her. That's about as old as I get. That's good, man. Give me the next slide. Using this ideology, lesbians successfully build lesbian as the ultimate form of feminism, a practice that does not involve men on any emotional level. In this way, heterosexual feminists were seen as inferior because of their continued association with men. Meaning the liberation movement was supposed to be on the premise, was supposed to be about them just getting a better job or something like that, or being respected. But what they ended up turning into, they wanted to be something that totally removed men out of the equation. And there's only one race of people that I see that affected the most, that's us. Because whether they're lesbians or not, they removed the black man out of the equation. I'm going to give you an example. That next slide. Oh, these are, I don't want to put too many of them. But Romans 1:25, it says, who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship the creature more than the creator? Lesbians swear they be Christians and love God and all that. But if you're a lesbian, then you turn the truth of God into a lie. Right. And in America, they made homosexuality, they teach it in the schools now. They teach homosexuality of all sorts to children, as if children need to learn that.
Right.
And then the heavy part, you can't even say that you're born that way. Because if you're going to say that you're born that way, if somebody murdering, you should be able to say I was born that way.
Right.
And you shouldn't do nothing about it. The fact that it was classified as a disease and then changed tells you that there's something psychologically wrong. It says, for this cause, God gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. It is against nature for you to be with another woman. Not none of y'all in here, so that you ain't applying to y'all. Give me the next slide. I'm going to give y'all an example. Now remember, the WNBA is supposed to be about feminism. We got next. Slide here. We got next. The WNBA. Former Stanford star Candace Wiggins, I was bullied in the NBA because she was straight. Now, they started the WNBA because they couldn't play with the men. So they said, we're going to create our own league for our women. And instead, they changed it into a lesbian organization. She said, me being a hero, this is a basketball player. She was nice as hell at UConn. She was a real good basketball player, and she wanted to keep playing, but she couldn't. And she said, me being a heterosexual and straight and being vocal in my identity as a straight woman was huge. It was important to her. And I wonder if it was important to her is because she knew when she was going into the WNBA how much lesbianism was running rampant. So she needed that to be important, not just to her, but to the people that thought, this is going to be the next box I'm going to leave. This is going to be the next woman I'm going to leave. So now, as a heterosexual, I felt like the 2% versus the 98%. This is the WNBA. And she said it felt that way to me. And it's not just the players, it was the coaches and the leaders pushing this lesbian agenda. And we get affected because the WNBA is dominated by black women. So now they're turning all of us lesbian. And what does that stunt? If all our women are lesbians, that stunts black people from growing as a nation, which is the ultimate goal of America, to stop us from growing as a nation. It says, I wanted to play 2 more seasons, but the experience didn't lend itself to my mental state. It was the depressing state. It can be quite hard. I didn't like the culture inside the WNBA, and without revealing too much, it was toxic for me. My spirit was being broken. That's what was happening to a woman in a so-called organization that's for women. And they beat her down for only wanting to be with a man. A black woman wanting to be with a man. That's damn near an endangered species. We usually say the most endangered species on the face of the planet is a black man, but a black woman and a man is also endangered too, because you rarely see that together. Right, we need to bring it back. Keep going to the next slide.